Get ready for a nostalgic trip as we look at 15 games that didn't just change gaming, they blasted down the doors. Some broke the mold with epic storylines, others with pure, unfiltered chaos. From outer space to underwater dystopias, let's dive into the games that rewired our brains and made us total game addicts. First up, Metal Gear Solid. If you're into hiding in boxes, dodging guards, and eavesdropping on dramatic villains, this game was a goldmine. Hideo Kojima didn't just give us a game, he handed us an interactive movie, complete with all the espionage, plot twists, and snake-like reflexes we could handle. Kojima's brainchild taught us that video game characters could have layers, and of course, that stealth is key, even if you have to hide in a cardboard box now and then. Now, Final Fantasy VII. This one didn't just hit us with intense battles and epic summons, it broke our hearts. Cloud, Sephiroth, the unforgettable, emotionally crushing story. FF7 was the game that made RPGs feel like Hollywood-level blockbusters, with those unforgettable 3D graphics and emotional cutscenes. FF7 was proof that games could break out of nerdy circles and become legendary experiences. There isn't a single person out there who's played Final Fantasy VII and wasn't completely immersed in its incredible writing and game world.
Is it done, Yuri?
No, comrade. Prepare.
Next, Red Alert 2. You've got Soviet squids, tanks with Tesla coils, and psychic soldiers. How can you not love it? Red Alert 2 was pure real-time strategy chaos that turned history on its head and gave us a playground of absurdity and awesomeness. Its split-second decisions and over-the-top units made sure you were either planning tactics like a boss or completely overwhelmed. This was the game that showed us strategy could be fun and absolutely bonkers.
Why, Mr. President, whatever do you mean?
Before Skyrim, there was The Elder Scrolls IV: Oblivion, throwing you into a fantasy world packed with quests, guilds, and the freedom to chase butterflies instead of saving the world. Its living, breathing world let us roam, do good, or wreak havoc however we wanted. Oblivion was more than a game. It was an escape that said, "Want to go on a 5-hour side quest that has nothing to do with the main story? Go for it." Moving on to Pokemon Red. Admit it, this game owned your childhood. Trading with friends, battling in the schoolyard, and trying to catch that one rare Pokemon. Pokemon Red wasn't just a game. It was a social status. Game Freak's magic formula taught us that gaming could be as simple as catching creatures, battling them, and taking over the world one Pokeball at a time. Pokemon proved that portable gaming could be addictive, social, and a phenomenon all on its own. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 took military shooters to a whole new level, with epic missions, plot twists, and a multiplayer that was pure digital crack. MW2 made sure we knew just how intense FPS games could get. It wasn't just about saving the world, it was about that headshot satisfaction and raging over every lost match. MW2 was fast, furious, and made multiplayer shooters a genre juggernaut.
It just shot down our predator.
Next, we have Half-Life 2. Let's talk about gravity guns, creepy dystopian worlds, and a silent protagonist who somehow became a legend. Half-Life 2 wasn't just a game. It was an experience that pulled us into a world where even the water felt intimidating. Gordon Freeman was gaming's unlikely hero, and the physics engine, man, it had us grabbing everything from barrels to saw blades. This was the game that turned physics into the coolest gameplay element and made dystopias weirdly appealing. Then there's GTA 3. Forget following the rules. GTA 3 was about creating total mayhem in a sandbox where anything goes. Liberty City became a playground of absurdity, whether you were causing traffic jams or diving off rooftops. With open world freedom and insane missions, GTA 3 showed us that playing the game didn't always mean following the rules. It was a chaotic, immersive, explosive sandbox that paved the way for open world gaming.
Let's go around the back and use the service door.
Before we had photorealistic monsters, there was Doom. This game was simple: shoot everything that moves, survive, and find the exit. Doom was raw, relentless, and revolutionary. It showed us that sometimes all you need is a dark corridor, a shotgun, and monsters. Doom didn't mess around. It was FPS gaming at its finest, setting the stage for countless shooters to come and scaring the daylights out of us all.
3, 2, 1, Tetris!
Tetris seems simple, right? Until you realize you're stacking blocks like a maniac, praying for a line piece as if it's the answer to all life's problems. This was a game so addictive that even your grandma probably played it. Perfect for short bursts, Tetris had us hooked on the simplicity of block stacking, and it proved that sometimes less really is more. You die, you try again, and repeat until you're either a pro or pulling your hair out. Demon's Souls didn't care about handholding. It was brutal, dark, and forced you to get good. With intricate level design, haunting atmospheres, and challenging gameplay, it set the stage for the Soulsborne craze and proved that gamers love a good challenge, so long as the game's fair, of course. Street Fighter 2. This wasn't just a fighting game, it was the fighting game. Ryu, Ken, Chun-Li, these characters weren't just pixels, they were legends. Street Fighter 2 created the perfect balance, introduced combos, and made us feel like arcade champs, even when we were button mashing. It turned competitive gaming into a thing, and made fighting games a staple in arcades and beyond. PUBG showed up and said, hey, what if we put everyone on an island and let them battle it out for survival? Suddenly, it wasn't just about shooting. It was about outlasting everyone else, grabbing the best loot, and praying the circle didn't shrink on you. PUBG took the Battle Royale concept mainstream and had us jumping out of planes, scavenging for gear, and screaming in terror when ambushed. It was survival gaming at its best, and it showed us the thrill of winner winner chicken dinner. Super Mario Bros. 2 wasn't your average Mario game. With new characters and each one bringing unique skills to the table, it was a platformer with a twist. Whether you were floating with Peach or tossing veggies as Mario, this game proved that the Mario formula could be flipped upside down and still be fantastic. It was quirky, experimental, and helped shape Mario into the icon he is today.
City where the artist would not fear the censor.
And lastly, BioShock. Set in the underwater city of Rapture, this game didn't just give us a story, it gave us a twisted philosophy on choice, control, and power. Would You Kindly became one of the most iconic twists in gaming, forcing us to rethink everything. BioShock was haunting, philosophical, and beautifully dystopian. It proved that games could ask the big questions and still pack a mean punch. These 15 games didn't just entertain us, they broke rules, reinvented genres, and made us fall head over heels for gaming. Whether it was stealth, RPGs, open worlds, or just plain chaos, these titles forever changed the way we play, and even more importantly, how we think about games.